So I'm doing this ride again. This time starting off with a full charge battery. Last time I wasn't fully charged because my charger, when it's fully charged, the charger will light up green. My charger wasn't green. This time the charger light up green. That was just an hour ago. So I gave it like an hour or so to give the battery a little time to cool down a little bit. And today it's a little cooler too. So that should help a little bit. This time I'm not gonna go all the way down to the church like I did last time. I'm just gonna go down the steep, that 20% grade. Then when I get to the bottom of that, I will turn around. I should have enough power to get back up without having to walk like I did last time. On your left.
Oh, sorry.
So it's interesting when the bike went, or the scooter went into the last light bar where it started to blink. It not just lost power, but it goes into limp mode, so it doesn't let you go very fast, right? But also when that happens, it throws you out of sport mode. It puts you back into drive mode. So you can only pick between drive or economy mode instead of sport mode. And the funny thing is that after I finish charging, and just right now, I put it back into sport mode, and the sport mode wouldn't go to 22 like it normally does. It only went to 19, which is the normal setting. The normal sport mode setting is 19. So the economy mode tops out at I believe 8 or 9. So all the speed I'm talking about is indicated speed. So what it says on the indicator right here. Right. So economy mode is 8 or 9. Then drive mode is 16. Then sport mode is 19. Then there's a sport mode unlock, which is 5 clicks of the button, really fast 5 clicks, that unlocks the sport mode. So then it goes up to 22. So that's what I have right now. I have it at 22. So yeah, so learned a few interesting things about this. What else? What else did I learn when I did that last ride, to see how well it does and all the quirks it has. And I don't have my lights on, my headlights on. So I want to make sure 100% that I don't have to walk this time. I don't think I will. Because again, I'm not doing that full distance like I did last time, going to the church. So I'm easily saving 4, maybe 5 miles. So going to the church adds another at least 2, maybe 3 miles to the church, and another 3 miles back, right? So I think because of that, I add at least 5 miles, and I think more than 5 miles, but let's say 5 miles. But again, I think it's more. So that 5+ miles that I taken out should save me enough power to climb up that steep climb. And the good thing is, when I climb up that steep climb this time, and one of the things I wanted to test out was that I wanted to climb that up and not at full power. I was climbing up like around mid power or so. So I think this is gonna happen. It's gonna do it around mid power or mid charge, battery charge, because it does perform difference. There is a difference in performance when you have a full charge versus having, say, half charge. At full charge, the voltage is a little bit higher. So when the voltage is a little bit higher, it's a little stronger. At half charge, the voltage is a little bit lower, so it's not as strong. So I definitely want to try that. And that, again, I think this time we didn't make it. Last time, boy, it was having a rough time. Even when I didn't have to stop and push, or I shouldn't say push. I never actually had to push this thing. I'm gonna have to get off of it. But when I stayed on it, and it was on the last light bar and it was blinking. Actually, before it was blinking, it was on the last light bar. It was still running, but it was running up the hill like at, basically below 6 miles an hour. Then I had to, once it started going lower than that, I had to kick push it to maintain some speed. Otherwise, it might have just stopped and not able to carry my weight. But so now I'm going up at 16, 15, which is 14 now, which is pretty much the same as I did last time. The difference this time is that all my light bars, they're still up. The last time when I was going up this, that first light bar was gone already. So that tells me, that I have a higher charge. Started off with a higher charge, with a full charge, versus last time I didn't. So, okay, I just saw back there when it was topping up the steepness. I saw my first light bar disappear, but when it kind of leveled out a little bit, the light bar came back. So, there it goes. So now it's kind of like the first light bar's kind of going on and off. Now it's gone again. Now it's back again. So yeah. This steeper section, the first light bar's gone, but when it levels out a little bit, it gets less steep. That first light bar pops back on again. So that's a voltage dropping. So these charge indicator, percentage indicator, they're based on voltage. So when there's more load on the motor and it's drawing more power from the battery, the voltage on the battery will drop, and that's what it's showing as I'm going up this. So that's what it's showing. So now it's down less steep, and also that first bar came back, so now it's getting steep again, and the first bar's gone again. So right now the first bar's gone. It's dropping down to 11 miles an hour now. So that's the steep section right there. So now it's leveling out. It's even downhill. It's for like a few yards. And that first light bar came back on. Now it's off again. So I think it's pretty much going to be off now. Although when I go downhill and I hit the regen, the light bar might come back on, because that regen is putting power back into the battery, so it will increase the voltage. But yeah. That steep section, it actually went down all the way to 11 miles an hour. Yes, the last time I rode up this, I don't recall it dropping down that low. I thought it only went down to like 13 or 14, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. But That's what I thought it was. Let's see what it does now. But I see how it climbs up the that 20% grade. Because I think, if I can remember right, Hover-1 says this thing could go up. I think they said it could go up a 25% grade, but that's probably when it's full. No, when it's full. So from where I live to this intersection up ahead, the stop sign, it's actually just under 4 miles. It's like 3.8 miles, 3.9 miles. So about 4 miles to this intersection right here. Oh, someone just did donuts. All right. So I took it off the power, and now it's just kind of coasting with the with regen braking. Oh, so one of the other things that I noticed with regen braking, or whatever speed setting you're at, economy, drive, or sport, whatever the max speed is, even when you go downhill, for example, going down this downhill, the sport unlock mode is 22 miles an hour, right? And it would never show more higher than that. Even when you're actually going faster, like when I'm going down this downhill, it actually goes faster than 22, but the speedometer, it seems like it won't show 22. And I discovered that last time when I was on limp mode, and on limp mode it's on economy. It only gives you maximum is 8 or 9 miles, right? So when I was going downhill back home, there were sections where I was definitely going faster than 8 or 9. I was probably getting up to like 15 miles an hour. But the economy mode just shows it as a max speed of 9 miles an hour instead of higher. So man, these brakes are so sensitive. It freaks me out. It wants to throw me forward. So I have to shift my weight back and lower my center of gravity. So now my battery power is showing all about 2 bars now, right? Like I said, when you regen brake, regen brake. Right now it's just regen brake. There's no mechanical brakes at all. And this is a steep section, and it actually dropping me down to 5 miles an hour. So the regen brake is really good on this scooter, really good. I'm just gonna regen brake like this because I'm getting tired of that getting pitched forward. It's just sketchy. It's like every time it does that, it's like you feel like you're gonna go over the bars. And again, this section right here is steep. This section is like I think it's a 20% grade going down this section here, and the length of this is just under 1.25 miles. So I'm not quite halfway down yet. I think when it levels out right here ahead, it will be it'll be about halfway, which is right here, this opening right here. Woo, it's going fast. So this is definitely going faster than 22, even though it says 22. See, the speedo says 22, but I think I was going faster. I think I was going like, it feels like 30 or close to 30. So I want to go down to controlled speed. So yes, I will have plenty of power to climb back up this. It won't be fully charged, but it's going to be it's probably going to be by the time I get to the bottom, I think I'm probably going to be at around 20%. No, excuse me, about 80%, maybe a little bit more. So which is fine. That's a good amount, because usually once the battery drops down to about 80%, it drops its power level down a little bit. From full charge, you can feel how much power it is. That when it's about 80%, you actually feel a reduction in power at 80%. Usually, if it's like at 90%, you don't notice much of a reduction in power. It might be noticeable, but just barely though. But 80%, it's enough of a reduction in power where it's noticeable. But it's not like a night and day difference. It's not like if you were to say at 20% or at the last bar. This thing has, how many bars does this thing have? This thing has 5 bars, so each bar is about 20%. Let's say, roughly. It's actually not. It's not linear like that, but it's just for simplicity's sake, each bar is 20%. So yeah. So it's all steep right here. So last time I was going up this, right? It was going up at I think it slowed me down to like 7 miles. Then when it started dropping below 6, I had to like give it an assistance and kick the scooter, kick push it, and that was actually when I kick push it, I was able to maintain 6 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. If I just stood there and let the scooter do all the work, it dropped down to 4, and it felt like it was gonna stop completely because it was just not enough juice. But just me kicking, give it that little bit of extra assist, was able to maintain like 6 miles an hour. But that was exhausting though, man. I'm actually still sore from it. It's actually it was just yesterday. Yesterday I did this ride, this first ride. So I'm back and my legs are freaking sore, really sore. So controlled 5 miles an hour. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. See that abrupt stop that it has? It makes it worse when we're going downhill, because when you go downhill, you're already kind of pitched forward. Your angle is already kind of pitched forward, so it wants to pitch you more forward, even more, versus being on a flat. When you do this, so when you're on the flat ground, level ground, your body's not as pitched forward as going, especially down a steep incline like this, 20% incline. So there's that difference for sure. Man, it's hard to keep that regen braking. It just wants to like grab, man. It just wants to grab you and just keep you at like 5 miles an hour. It's a steady. When it gets down to like 5 miles an hour, the regen braking feels even and steady. But above 5 miles an hour, it feels really grabby. So just around this corner, it's gonna level out. We'll reach the bottom and it levels out. So again, just this regen braking that I've been going down basically the last 1.2 miles is charging my battery back up. So I think I have at minimum it's 80%, but I think I have more. I probably have maybe as much as 90% now. All right, so we're at the bottom of that steep incline. So I'm gonna turn around here and go back up. So, it's cold. Nose is already. All right, so let's see. So now I have my full battery. Well, actually, it's not. That last bar is still not fully there. So basically, it's about 80% then. All right, let's go up and see how fast it goes. So let's see how much it drops. So we're down at dropping 13 miles, 14 miles. Still 13 miles. Yeah, so last time when I was coming up this, I would pretty much already had to help the scooter kick push it. So this time around, no need for that. So by the time I got to the flat spot, that's where I actually got off, and I had to start walking because it was just out of juice. I was able to kick it all the way until I think I got to the flat spot, if I can remember right. So I can't even, yesterday's ride, even though it was just yesterday, it wasn't even that clear to me because I was so damn tired from kicking the, kick pushing the scooter. So still 13 miles, so that's good. It hasn't dropped less than that, so that's really good. Still 13 miles. That's interesting because that coming from the other side, it's not as steep as this, but it dropped me down to 11, whereas this one, where I was actually, it dropped me down to 12, now it's back to 13 again. Or this side, it hasn't dropped me down to 11 yet, it's still higher, faster. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if it's because the battery's a little bit warmer. Lithium ion battery, it performs best at about 80 degrees. It's optimal performance. It's 80 degrees. So today, right now, it's probably 60 something. But a few hours ago, I plugged it in to charge it to top it off. It was mostly charged already, but just to top it off to make sure the light was green. So that warmed up a little bit, and also this ride here, this also warmed up the battery, so it should be well over 80 degrees. It's optimum temperature. So lithium ion batteries, once it gets to about 120 degrees, that's when the performance will start to go down. It would start to drop. Then when it gets to like 130, that's when that's it. It can't it can't really operate more than 130. If it does, it will have problems. It will overheat, and that's going to be problems. So usually you can go as high as 130, but if you want to be safe, really safe, 120 is it. So still pulling. So now it's going to be less steep now. I think we passed over the steepest section. This section here is not as steep as that last corner. So yeah, and I still have 4 bars of power, so that's good. Got plenty of power. I should turn on my headlight. Yeah, I'll turn it on when I go downhill. So yeah, I think if I had started out with a full charge, I think I might have maybe made it up this incline, maybe not. I'm not sure. Still kind of hard to say. It's 21, 20. So yeah, it's going good, going strong. I'm surprised. So I'm pleased, I'm good. So I also wonder if, because yesterday's ride was the first time that I ever actually charged it up mostly full and discharged it pretty much almost all the way. So that's the first time I ever went through like a full charge cycle. No, discharge cycle I should say. Full discharge and charge cycle. So with lithium ion batteries, there's actually a break-in. It needs a break-in. It needs a break-in, and how the break-in works is I just turn on the headlights right now. How the break-in works for a new lithium-ion battery is that the battery needs to go through several cycles of charge and discharge, and not just like slightly discharge and slightly charge, but it's like pretty much a full charge and almost a full discharge. And I think it needs to go through like a handful of those cycles for it to fully break in. and for it to have like full capacity and you know and work at its best performance. So that could be a possibility as well. Why it seemed like it didn't. Why that, you know, yesterday's charge, even though it had full bars, it didn't seem like it was like it had that much, like why the bars went down so fast this time around. Let's see. Oh, it looks like I'm down to 3 bars now. It's kind of hard to tell because I'm trying to focus on not eating shit going down this incline. Yeah, it's down to 3 bars now. 4 bars. 4 bars, 3 bars. So this incline right here is pretty steep too, but it's not quite as steep as the other one. But it's still, you know, it still has a certain steepness to it. That's for sure. And you can see the skid marks here. This car driving down way too fast, locking up the brakes and skidding. With those skid marks, that tells me that that car is neither an old car and it didn't have ABS, or it was just shitty tires and it just locked, you know, it skids really easily. That happens too with a lot of, when you know your car has ABS and you have cheap tires. If you know you're using shitty tires, you can still leave skid marks with shitty tires. With really good tires with a lot of grip, I hear water running. Oh yeah, there's some water running right here. So there's still water. The ground's still saturated, basically. Yeah. So that's with shitty tires. It does that. Whoa, that was fast. Whew. Speed went fast. I think I was doing like 30 right there. It felt like 30. I have a pretty good judgment with speed. You know, because I, you know, riding motorcycles and also being a bicyclist, I tend to kind of know my speed. I could judge my speed pretty well without, you know, without a speedometer. I'm usually within 5 miles an hour or so if I judge speed. Oh man, my legs are getting tired from shifting backwards and, you know, shifting my weight back and squatting down. So I'm gonna just kind of ride the regen brake and just stand back up straight because my legs are sore from yesterday. Really sore. So after this, I actually have to go to work. I'm not sure if I could stand up all day at work or not. So I usually work the late shift. Or I should say this, you know, the evening shift. So I usually, you know, leave in the early afternoon, and I don't get home until like pretty late. So right now it's like, let's say I left on this test ride at I think 11:20 or so. So by the time I get back, it'll be around noon or maybe just past noon. Timing for me to get to work or start going to work. See how right now it's like the brakes are like really jerky because I'm over 5 miles an hour. So the regen brake is smooth when it's like 5 miles an hour or less, it's smooth. But above 5 miles, man, it grabs really strong. So it's really jerky. So people that are not familiar with that could easily get hurt. You know, they'll fly over the bars. In some ways, the thought just occurred to me if like someone try to, maybe you're going somewhere and you're stopping in to get a coffee or something like that, and you leave the scooter outside, and someone tries to snatch your scooter and ride off with it, and you see them ride off with it, you could chase them, and they will they will take off on it, right? But at the same time, usually when you take off like that, you don't have like a free, straight, clear line. You have to go through the parking lot or whatever, and so you have to slow down a little bit during that takeoff. So when they do that, they don't realize how strong the brakes on this is. They do that and they will probably crash. So that's a good thing. Hello. It'll suck for your scooter because your scooter's gonna get banged up, but at the same time they're gonna get banged up, so they had it coming. So that's on them, right? Right, now we let off the brakes and I just basically give it power. Yeah, so I'm down to 3 bars right now. 3 bars. So the nature of how also the power bar, the power meter, how it works is, that voltage, and how batteries, the higher charge it is, the state of charge, the higher the voltage, but also at the percentage, it actually also has more power at the top end. Not meaning more power like more performance, but more power as in more energy. So basically, like for example, the top 20% of power, there's more energy there than the bottom 20%. So if you just use the top 20%, the first bar only, until that first bar goes away from fully charged, you could go a certain amount of distance. But if you got to the last bar, as soon as you get to the last bar, and you go to the last bar all the way until it's basically not running anymore, it won't give you as much distance. You have less distance. So in that regards, if you use the power bar and you go halfway, for example, you go, I still have half power left, I can just turn around and get back to where I started. That's not the case. You won't be able to make it to back where you started. You'll get close, but you won't be there. The best thing to do is think of like the top. Oh, say the top 45% state of charge is about where the actual halfway power is. So the top 45% will give you the same distance as the bottom 55%. So that's the safe way to do it. And if you want to really be safe without any worries at all, the top 40%, and that for sure, 100% for sure, the top 40% will have a little bit less distance than the bottom 60%. So you go 40% and you still have 60% left, 100% you will get back to where you started if you have 60%. Alright, so now I'm down to 2 bars. And by the time I get back, I'm probably down to 1 bar. So maybe if I did try to go get to the church again, I don't think I would make it again, back up the hill at least. blow my nose there. My nose is getting all runny. So this hill right here that I'm going to go down here, this hill is about 10% grade, approximately 10%. Maybe the steeper section is a little bit more than 10%, and the less steeper section is a little bit less than 10%. But overall, I think it's about 10% grade. So this ends the ride pretty soon. So basically from now on, it just stays level. So I'm gonna off the camera now.